welcome back to my channel, and we're here again today for the next installment of Read and React, which will be the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. From the last video from the Sorcerer's Stone, I gave it an 8 out of 10 in adaptation, so let's see how this one is. Off of memory of what I'm thinking, I want to say it's about the same. I don't know, but as I was going back through my notes, all of the funny stuff is always taken out. Why is it that the funny stuff is always taken out? Sometimes in the films, they'll try to be funny, and it's just not on par of the level of humor that's actually in the book. The books are a lot funnier than I remember. They're not so dark and depressing like these movies make them feel, because obviously everything starts to get darker the closer you get to the climax, but I don't know, some of them are a lot funnier, and all of the funny stuff is cut out, and it's sad. So I'm going to try and bring back some of the funny stuff every time I can remember, hopefully. If I have to, I'll read from the book. This book is so important to the entire series as a whole because there's so much that sets up the rest of the series, but this book is not my favorite. I don't know why, but the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I wonder what the secret could be. It's not like there's a snake right there or anything. Or right there. Or there. There's some freaking snakes coming everywhere. Wow, this... Jesus. Okay. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Whoop. Put that right there. Yeah, let's get into my least favorite book. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Man, this thing just like kicked it off right off the bat. They're like, we know what you're here for. You are here for the magic. We do not need to give you a scene to set the premise of the film. We're just gonna throw you in there with the title.
Well, so you can send secret messages to your freaky little friends? No, sir.
But I haven't had any messages from any of my friends. No one.
I feel like this is like a precursor to the 5th year. It's like he doesn't get any letters, and so he's sad and isolated about it, but they do send him letters, like he finds out. Whereas in the Order of the Phoenix, he gets letters, but they say nothing, and he's even more isolated. So it's like, we're preparing you for what's gonna happen in 3 years.
That's fair. And you?
I'll be in my bedroom, making no noise and pretending that I don't exist.
Too right you will.
Yeah, because I do that too.
But I do that out of choice.
Offend Dobby!
You would never know that this is Toby Jones. Never know. Every time I watch it, I'm flabbergasted by the fact that it's Toby Jones. And I will also say that I preferred this to the Dobby in the 7th film.
I don't like it.
So the only difference here is that the woman who gets the cake dropped on her, she screams and they leave and stuff, and then an owl comes with a letter of giving him a warning of the spell. Even though Dobby did it, it picked up that he was in the presence of an underage wizard. So that was strike 1 for Harry. See, at this point, I'm pretty sure they open the window. Fred and George actually go downstairs into the cupboard where he used to sleep to get all of his stuff, because all of his stuff is in that cupboard and it's been locked away. And so they were like being really quiet. This right here makes it more action-y, and I'm okay with that. I kind of like this. Though it would have been hilarious if he had accidentally forgot Hedwig like he did in the book. Hedwig is so sassy, and she's an actual character in these books. She's not just an owl and a prop. Obviously, it would be difficult to deal with an actual animal, but she is sassy, and I love her. And I think her sassiness and the fact that she's an actual character in the books makes her death a lot harder, even though I prefer the way she dies in the movie. I always love that the burrow looks like an actual, like it's got a face. It's cool.
I love the burrow.
This is how I always wanted the burrow to be.
You'll be alright if we had some of this. Yeah, Mom.
Mom will never know. She knows everything. Do you not know your mother? I love that clock. I wish that clock was in more of the series. Talking about it being everybody being in mortal peril.
Where have you been? Harry?
wonderful to see you, dear.
Bed's empty, no note. Car gone. You could have died. You could have been seen.
Of course, I don't blame you, Harry, dear.
They were starving him, Mum. There were bars on his window.
Well, you best hope I don't put bars on your window, Ronald Weasley.
Come on, Harry.
Time for small breakfast. It's just Julie Walters as Molly is perfect. She's so terrified. She's been talking about him all summer and now she's like, she can't. I think this is one of the things that I really miss from the movies as well, because it's my favorite part of the books, is whenever Harry's actually with the Weasleys and like they are a family. It's just...
Raid? Dad works in the Ministry of Magic, in the Misuse of Muggle Artifacts office. Dad loves Muggles. Thinks they're fascinating.
His favorite things are plugs, and his sole motivation in life, the one thing that he wants to know above all things, is how airplanes fly. My answer is lift.
That's all I got.
And who are you?
I love how he's like, who are you? You're not one of mine.
Now, Harry, you must know all about muggles.
Tell me,
what
what exactly is the function of a rubber duck? He's like, you dead serious? You squeeze it and it goes like, I'm telling you, anytime in the books when he's at the Burrow or with the Weasleys, it is my favorite. I think in the book, he stays there for a while, obviously, for like a month, and he learns how to denome a garden. So much fun. Oh my god, why am I enjoying this? This is not my favorite book. Why am I enjoying it? I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be the Hand of Glory or something, because you learn about the Hand of Glory in this, and there's a deleted scene, and the necklace is brought up, and all this stuff. Like, that is where it starts foreshadowing and like stuff that's coming up in the other films. Yeah, the Hand of Glory is in this, and so is the necklace. And the Vanishing Cabinet, because in the deleted scene, Harry hides in an Iron Maiden, but in the book, he's hiding in the Vanishing Cabinet. That's in Work of Works. This book.
It's got so much stuff.
What did you do to your glasses? Oh, here, let's repair it.
Why is she doing magic? She should have gotten a letter. Why is she doing magic? She's underage. She's not at school. Like, I understand since there's so many people there, it's harder to pick up on younger kids doing magic outside of school. Why is she doing magic?
Why?
If you think Gilderoy Lockhart is bad in the film, he is so much worse in the book.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an extraordinary moment this is.
Kenneth Branagh? It's one of my favorite casting choices, and there's a lot of them. But this one, mwah, chef's kiss. It is my favorite, because I'm pretty sure it's Kenneth Branagh being himself.
Free of charge.
So there's a scene in the book where they actually do go to Gringotts, and they go to the Weasley's vault first, and Harry sees that they have, I don't remember how many sickles and knuts they have, but there's only like one single gold galleon. And then they go to Harry's, and Harry opens it and like tries to get as much money as he can and just says, yep, I'm good. He doesn't count it. He just hopes that it's enough to get him through the year. He went from having no money to having a bunch of money, and then his best friend is also poor, and he feels so bad. So those books that Lockhart gives him for free, he gives to Ginny. That way the Weasleys already have a copy, so they don't have to buy so much, and he just buys his own, and it's really sweet.
Let me see. Red hair, vacant expressions. Tatty, second-hand book. You must be the Weasleys.
It's not in this film. This didn't make the film, but Lucius insults Arthur and his family, and Arthur punches him in the face.
And they have a fist fight.
It is so good. I understand why the filmmakers didn't want to show Arthur as like the violent type, but That man is not afraid to throw down when he has to. And neither are his sons. The action sequence of the train, not in the book. I'm pretty sure I paid attention to it, but if I'm not mistaken, that's not in the book, but I love it. This is one of those few scenes that I absolutely love. Because, like, in the book, I'm pretty sure they, like, stay with the train the whole way there. They fly in the clouds and they have to keep going low to, like, peek and double check and make sure that they're okay. I love this scene.
Hold on!
I'm
trying.
Your hands all sweaty. It's cute. I love it. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie. This would be so scary.
My wand. Look at my wand.
Be thankful it's not your neck. I think they just told Rupert, be like, look, Rupert, in this movie, you're gonna be really scared the entire time. And he's like, got it. He's just genuinely terrified.
Dad's gonna kill me.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be worried about your dad. That's not the parent I'd be worried about.
Welcome to Greenhouse 3, second year.
There's Margulies. Oh, even though she's Professor Sprout, her real self in general. I love Miriam.
Mandrake, or mandragora, is used to return those who've been petrified to their original state.
She may have done this, but honestly, I would like to know why Neville's not the one that's, like, the star in this class. Because he is. How is that gonna help?
Say it. I'm doomed.
You're doomed.
You're doomed.
Hi, Harry.
Oh,
I'm Colin Creevy.
Colin
I'm ready for my
Creevy! He's kind of just, like, written out of the rest of these films and replaced with Nigel, who I'm pretty sure is supposed to be Dennis Creevy instead. Colin. He's an annoying little shit in this book, but Colin, he means well. Oh, don't open it. It'll explode. Ronald Weasley! How dare you steal that car! I am absolutely disgusted!
Your father's now facing an inquiry at work, and it's entirely your fault.
If you put another toe out of line, we'll bring you straight home.
Oh, and Ginny, dear, congratulations on making Gryffindor. Your father and I are so proud.
I'm telling you. Julie Walters. Mwah.
Let me introduce you to your new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher.
This man has a portrait of himself painting a portrait of himself.
I didn't get rid of the band and banshee by smiling at him.
Oh, he's the worst. He is the worst. God, he's so inept. I guarantee you he was only chosen for this position because Dumbledore could not find anyone else to do it. It is hinted in this book that that position is jinxed, and then you later find out in the 6th book that Voldemort jinxed it because Dumbledore didn't give him the position. And so no one has been able to last a year since the 60s or 70s? That's like 2 decades at this point, since this is 1992.
No one asked your opinion, you filthy little mudblood.
Man, the whole Gryffindor team gets behind her, and, like, I'm pretty sure there's a fight. Fred and George are, like, not having it. Okay, so you know how in the last one I talked about how Ron kind of gets shafted throughout this entire series, and a lot of his world-building qualities gets pushed off on Hermione? If the first one wasn't already a little bit hinting at it, this right here solidifies Ron being a side character rather than a part of the trio.
They call me a mudblood. It means dirty blood. Mudblood's a really foul name for someone who is muggle-born, someone with non-magic parents.
Why does she know this? She should not know this. In the book, she has absolutely no idea what this word is, what it means, because she's not she's a muggle-born witch. She did not grow up in the wizarding world. She would not know the definition of that term. Why? Why does she know it? Why? I mean, I understand he's over there barfing up slugs, but why cannot he explain it? Or Hagrid explain it? Hermione should not know what that derogatory term is. It actually makes me mad. The writer of these movies loves Hermione so much, and that's great. I love that you love Hermione. I love that she's your favorite character. But she's gotta have flaws. She needs to not know stuff half the time. Because she doesn't, she's not been exposed to this world like Ron has, who's lived in it for 12 years. He knows what this word means. It just... I'm sorry, it bothers me. It just... Also, I'm pretty sure Ginny was at Hagrid's looking at the chickens. That was supposed to give her away. Because when Hagrid comes storming in this movie holding up a dead chicken, it makes no sense. You have no known logical reason as to why in the he's holding a dead chicken.
Hear what?
That voice.
Voice? What voice?
See, in the book, he only hears it and then he tells Ron that he's heard voices. Hermione doesn't know anything about it until after the Death Day party. So they've cut the entire Death Day party out, which is a shame and a blessing in itself. No one likes the Death Day chapter. Nearly Headless Nick tries to get Harry to vouch for him to get into the Headless Hunt. His head is still attached, okay? I'm sorry. But they go to the Death Day party, it's disgusting, and then when they leave, that's when they run into all of this in the Death Day party.
You hear this voice, a voice only you can hear, and then Mrs. Norris turns up petrified. It's just strange. Even in the wizarding world, hearing voices isn't a good sign.
How do you know that? How in the hell would you know that?
She's right, you know.
I know she's right, and I know that she could have read it from somewhere, but how in the does she know that? Yeah, no, said Ron without hesitation. Hearing voices no one else can hear isn't a good sign, even in the wizarding world. Because he was the one who would know this. I'm telling you, I don't like it.
Yes, Miss Granger?
Professor, I was wondering if you could tell us about the Chamber of Secrets.
Granted, she actually asks Professor Binns, because Professor Binns, the
history teacher,
would actually know the answer to this question. Not saying that Minerva's not capable of knowing the story, but they just didn't want to cast another ghost. I'm pretty sure almost the only time you see any of the ghosts in this film is in passing, and then when Nick gets petrified. And that's it.
Naturally, the school has been searched many times. No such chamber has been found.
Which is weird because Myrtle says that tap in her bathroom has never worked. This book is in the restricted section. They need a teacher's signature to be able to go into the restricted section and find out what the Polyjuice Potion is. And Ron goes, yeah, but what teacher would be that thick to do it? Who do you think they go and see?
Who do you think?
They got Hermione to go in there and bat her lashes at Lockhart. And he signed the paper. He was like, sure, it's all academic, go ahead. I love Quidditch. Okay, the CGI looks a lot better from the first movie to this one. It looks so much better.
They lead Gryffindor 90-30.
Oh, Lee, I miss you, Lee. I'm pretty sure this will be the last time I see you.
Watch yourself, Harry!
Why are you not at the goalpost? Why is he just there in the middle? Why was he not at the goalpost? I'll stop it. You're gonna kill your best friend. I think this happens just a little bit different, but it's fine. All of the little add-on action sequences that they've put in so far, I really enjoy. So, I like it. He looks so determined. Oh my god. I'm telling you, Kenneth Branagh. I cannot take him seriously in these movies. He does such a good job.
Very clearly, the bones are not broken.
Broken? There's no bones left. Okay, nobody asks this question in the movie. How did Hermione get all those ingredients? She stole. Hermione Granger
stole
those ingredients from Snape. She's a thief. She is a
thief.
Who's Moaning Myrtle?
I'm Moaning Myrtle. I don't care how old she is. It's great. Another great casting.
She's a little sensitive.
You don't say. This dueling club is like amped up to 11 because it's not like this. Like they do the Lockhart versus Snape thing and then everybody pairs up. Hermione gets stuck with Millicent Bulstrode, which is how she actually gets the hair from her because Millicent Bulstrode was actually fighting her. I mean, like, she was on top of her. They were rolling around. Like, she was fighting Hermione. Harry obviously gets picked with Draco, and I think Ron goes with Neville, I think? I don't remember.
Expelliarmus!
I love how... I just noticed this. Snape looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi, except Obi-Wan's got that weird, like... He points his fingers with his lightsaber.
One's at the ready.
Scared, Potter.
You wish.
Because this is like a pretty big deal with consequences, I understand why they amped it up. I love it. I'm not gonna complain about it. Oh, like he lands like that twice, man. How is he able to have kids? See, there is a deleted scene, I think. There's a deleted scene of Harry talking to Justin Fletchley before this, and since it's cut, it's weird because it's like, why are you attacking this kid? Who is this kid? No one knows who this kid's name is. He's a random person. And without that scene, without knowing that Justin Fletchley is Justin Fletchley, why is he seeking out this kid that no one knows his name? I think his name is mentioned much later. Otherwise, you would have no idea who he was, and you wouldn't understand that he was Muggle-born until much later either, without that scene, so... It's a misstep.
I bet loads of people here can do it.
No, they can't. It's not a very common gift, Harry.
Why isn't Ron giving this information? He's just standing there. I want to double check to make sure that I'm correct. And Ron pushed away and said, "You're a possum mouse. Why didn't you tell us? You can talk to snakes." Ron says this. Yeah, it's literally a conversation. Like, Hermione's there, but it is a conversation between Harry and Ron because Ron knows all this information. It's logical to understand that Hermione read about it and so she knows, but Ron lives in the wizarding world and has for 12 years. Why is he not giving out the information? And this right here, this is the first time you ever see Ginny outside of the beginning of the movie. This is why I say this book is not very good about Ginny, because it's really left field. And then there's a deleted scene as well with Ernie Macmillan talking to the rest of the Hufflepuffs, like Hannah Abbott and Susan Bones, about Justin and how he says Justin told him that he was a Muggle-born and all this mess. And like people are actually starting to suspect Harry after this, which is obviously the biggest red herring. Because see, I think in the book you see Ginny, it's picked up on certain spots that she's acting weird. And I mean, it's the same thing with Percy Weasley acting weird, but that red herring is so a little obvious that you know it's not him. And see, at this point, Harry goes and he's trying to seek out Justin and explain to him like what was happening, and that's when he finds them. It's not Filch who finds Harry, it's Peeves. Peeves starts screaming, "Attack, attack! No mortal or ghost is safe, run for your lives, attack." It's not just McGonagall, like everybody comes out because Peeves is making such a big scene. And then Peeves starts singing, "Oh Potter, you rotter, oh what have you done? You're killing off students you think it's good fun." And it's just... it's a big mess. See, he comes in with the chicken. Why does he have a random chicken in his hand? There's I'm telling you, I know these deleted scenes off of my head because I've seen them so many times. But there's a scene where Hagrid's holding the chicken and he's telling Harry why he has a chicken, that someone is slaughtering them. In the book, you understand that chickens are an enemy to the Basilisk for some weird reason. And Ginny was killing all the chickens and stuff.
We still sound like ourselves.
No, you don't.
You need to sound more like crap.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Nope.
Because in the book, it changes everything. It changes you, it changes your voice, which is how you're supposed to be able to go undetected. Because if someone can hear your voice and recognize your voice, they know that you're under Polyjuice Potion. You should not have the same voice. The fourth movie does it correctly, even though it's retconned. The fourth movie retcons the second back to the original way that it's depicted in the film, or in the book, because if Moody was speaking as Barty Crouch Jr., they would have known who he was. And then the 7th movie, they retcon the 4th movie, which is a retcon of the 2nd movie, and turn it back to how it was in this film, and having everybody have their original voice. It's just, it is the biggest retcon out of the whole series. You do not have your voice when you take Polyjuice Potion. That is the whole point. I understand that when they did it for this, they thought that, you know, the young audience probably wouldn't be able to pick up on that, you know, this is Harry and this is Ron without their voice. I get that. But I also just watched Daniel Radcliffe's face CGI bubble into Goyle. I've got it. I understand that they are someone else now. And then whenever Crabbe's hair turns back red, I understand that that is Ron. It would be fine if the 4th movie didn't retcon the 2nd, and then the 7th movie try to retcon the 4th. It would have been fine, but it's not.
As for me, I hope it's Granger.
This is the book where it starts to lay little bitty tiny seeds of Ron's feelings for Hermione. That's why they are insufferable in the next one. I do like the desaturation of this memory. It is pretty cool. Now that I think about it, I think you get more time with Riddle in this movie than you do in Half-Blood Prince.
It can't be Hagrid. It just can't be.
We don't even know this Tom Riddle.
See, the thing is Ron does know who Tom Riddle is because in the book, whenever he serves his detention, he's with Filch and he's polishing all of the trophies and stuff. Whenever he's barfing up slugs, he talks about how he had to polish Tom Riddle's award several times because he kept barfing up slugs on it, and he knows that Tom Riddle got an award for special services to the school. And so they somewhat figure out that the reason why he got that award is because he turned in the person who had killed Moaning Myrtle. So yes, that shot right there with Ginny, that is the only other piece of information that you get to know that it was Ginny. Therefore, this shit comes out of left field. The red herrings are good, like they're very good at diverting you from what it is. First you think it's Draco, then you think it's Hagrid, but there's not enough of a breadcrumb trail to let you know that it's Ginny. My biggest problem with this is that it makes Ginny come out of left field because there's just not enough information to say, hey, guess what? You should have figured it out on your own that it was Ginny because it was all there, like it is in the book. All of the suspicious things that Ginny does is in the book, and it's just, it's not in this. Oh, yeah, Cornelius Fudge, where the f*** is his lime green bowler hat? As of right now, that is my only qualm with Cornelius Fudge. I still want to know why Lucius put the diary into Ginny's hands. That's like one of the questions that I don't understand. Voldemort gave the diary to Lucius to keep safe. Why the f*** would he give it to an 11-year-old? I want to know like what possessed him to do that, especially when he's got to the point where he doesn't think Voldemort's coming back. Somebody in the comments, please explain that to me because I still don't get it. This is also not my cousin's favorite movie. He's dead terrified of spiders. He's like, he will not watch this part. You are a shitty friend, Harry.
Harry? What?
Him in this movie is my favorite. They literally just told him to be afraid this entire film. Can we panic now? See, Ron pulls out his wand even though it doesn't work. Harry, use your magic!
A skeleton will lie in the chamber forever. Ginny.
Yeah, but you haven't been paying attention to your sister and there's been no brotherly love, so it's just annoying. And I'm pretty sure the blood is where the chickens are coming from. It's chicken blood. You've got 2 kids, 2 wands against 1. One of them's broken, so it's really just like an adult wizard versus a child wizard. I don't know. I mean, with the exception of what? 2 spells? No, 3? 3 spells in this and absolutely no magic in the first movie? I think Gilderoy could have taken Harry. Yeah, this is when Myrtle tells her that that sink has never worked, or that faucet has never worked. I think it's the whole sink, which is a bit of a retcon in its own movie. Like, when they flooded the bathroom, water was coming out of the faucets. Now there won't be water coming out of the faucets. Why? I just noticed that. Wow. They retconned themselves. Oh my god, what is wrong?
I'm so confused.
This is my favorite part. First off, this should be a ride. Second off, Ron is my favorite. This is my favorite thing. If I had to pick one moment out of this whole movie of whatever the hell Rupert Grint was doing, it's that. It is that. That is my favorite.
Heart of a lion, this one.
Do you live here?
No.
Really?
Again, Kenneth Branagh. Ugh. Jesus. See, now, this is why you use Dutch angles. These Dutch angles are good. Thor does not do well with Dutch angles.
Sorry, Kenneth.
Okay. Fawkes. I can never say his name right. Fawkes brings him that hat, and Harry, at some point, I don't remember if it's like at this moment or much later, he puts the hat on his head. He's like, please, please help me, help me, help me. And then the sword of Godric Gryffindor just like drops out of the hat onto his head. I'm surprised he didn't have like a big massive lump, or if it didn't like incapacitate him from hitting him so hard. I'm not gonna lie, the snake looks really good. Like the CGI of it, and obviously I think they had like an actual practical effect. I think that's gotta be the saving grace of this film, is that it looks a lot better than the Sorcerer's Stone, even though the Sorcerer's Stone is iconic.
Very much alive.
Oh god. I'm sorry. I knew it was coming, but oh my god, it scared me. This is like, it was so quiet. And then he just bursts out. And again, these are the first times I'm watching these films with headphones on, and that just scared me. She is distraught. In the book, she freaks out. She cries. She thinks that she's gonna be expelled. This whole thing, like, it's drama, and it's really good. In the book. The movie's kind of ruined Ginny, and it makes me mad. She's my favorite character, and it makes me mad. But we'll get to that. There's this part, it was before this, they're all in the hospital wing. They find out, you know, Ginny tells the truth, and she tells her parents show up, and she tells them what happened and everything. And her dad's, one of the best lines from Arthur Weasley is, never trust anything that thinks for itself if you can't see where it keeps its brain. So good. Also, sword. Look at that. That is not a sword. That's like a toothpick. That is a sword. That is a sword.
That's a toothpick.
Whatever.
Let us hope that Mr. Potter will always be around to save the day.
Don't worry. I will be.
Jason Isaacs, in an interview, said that he knew that Daniel Radcliffe was going to be a really, really good actor because of this scene. I think he was talking to Chris Columbus. He was saying, I feel like I need to say something right here. And he said, okay, well, just try it and see if Dan picks up on it. He says, we hope that Mr. Potter will always be around to save the day. And Dan immediately improvised and says, don't worry, I will be. And Jason Isaacs knew from that moment that Dan was going to be a really good actor. I was like, yeah, it's awesome. Because it's a great line. So proud. Okay, this is a little different in the book, because in the book, instead of putting his sock in the book, Harry puts his sock over the book and thrusts the stinky, smelly sock book into Lucius's hands, and Lucius rips the sock off and throws it, and it lands on Dobby, and that's how he becomes free. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it better this way. Mainly because why in the would you put a stinky, smelly sock over a book? I mean, he hands him the book, and then he opens it, and the sock's there, and I like it a little better. Why is he going to say Avada Kedavra? He was just gonna kill a child? I understand him attacking him, but...
You're gonna kill a child?
How can Dobby ever repay him?
Just promise me something.
This is depressing.
Anything, sir.
Never try to save my life again.
It's foreshadowing. And it's depressing as f***. That's funny. The awkwardness is hilarious. Yeah. Because it's like a little bitty seed. Welcome back.
Sorry I'm late.
Now, this is more for the audience than for the rest of Hogwarts, because I don't think any of them would really have cared except for Harry, Ron, and Hermione. So the clapping is a little weird. I mean, it's sweet and it's sentimental because the audience loves Hagrid and they're so happy that he's back. But the clapping's just really awkward. I think there's one more thing that I like in the book better than the film because, you know, that's a very awkward ending. Usually these books end either on the train or usually at the train station when they get back. My favorite part is whenever they get back and I think Harry gives Ron his telephone number and that shit's hysterical. Anyway, but Hermione says, "Your aunt and uncle will be proud though, won't they?" said Hermione as they got off the train and joined the crowd thronging towards the the enchanted barrier. "When they hear what you did this year." "Proud?" said Harry. "Are you crazy? All those times I could have died and didn't manage it? They'd be furious." I'm like, yes. I miss that line is not in this film. It makes me really, really, really upset because that is great. They would be so mad out of all the times he would have died this year. So that is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. It is not my favorite book, although I had a really fun time watching this movie. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe I just preferred the film better than the book, I guess, which is very rare when it comes to these Harry Potter movies. You know, the first one, the Sorcerer's Stone / Philosopher's Stone, is pretty neck and neck. It's pretty close. This one, there's a few things that have been cut out, but I think I still really enjoy the film more than the book, which is very strange for me. So down below is going to be the change counter that I like. Obviously, I'm not entirely sure how many it is, but no matter how many things that I actually liked about this film, I think I have a lot more fun than I do with the book. So yeah, that's that. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 in adaptation. Hey guys, Editing Lex here. So I gave it a 7 out of 10 originally, and now that I've gone through and edited the whole thing, I think I'm gonna drop that down to a 6.5. You know what? No, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 now that I think about it. Because yes, they don't put Ginny in, they give all of Ron's attributes to Hermione, and it just... Ugh. There are some things that they left out, which I wanted to put in this, but because this video is already a little bit long, I had to cut it, which is like the Valentine's Day little tidbit in the book, the Valentine that Ginny gives to Harry, talking about how his eyes are as green as a fresh pickled toad, and the wafting of of Nearly Headless Nick with the fan whenever he gets petrified. Like, the book itself is so good. It's really funny, and I think that this film kind of missed out on a bunch of that. Even though I said that I really did have a lot of fun watching this film. And I think it really has to do with the adult actors and whatever in the world they told Rupert Grint to do during this whole film. So yeah, I'm gonna slide this one under the Sorcerer's Stone and give it a 6 out of 10. Not bad. Not as good as the first one, but not bad. Although the movie visually looks a lot better than the first one. But whatever. Next time it'll be The Prisoner of Azkaban, so I guess I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye!